Hey everybody, and oh my god, we hit 50,000 subscribers. Holy crap. Oh my god. I never thought that my channel would get to this size ever. When I first started YouTube, I thought maybe I'd hit 1,000 subscribers if I was lucky, but 50,000? What? That's crazy. I'm honestly blown away. Thank you guys so much. I don't even know what to say. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is going to be a different kind of video, but it's kind of a thank you to you guys. Yeah, so I know that Draw My Life videos aren't in vogue anymore, but I thought that I would try it anyways. I've always wanted to do one. I never thought that I would have a channel big enough to actually do one. So yeah, here we go. Spoiler warning, I suck at drawing, so gonna have a lot of verbal descriptions of what I'm trying to draw. Yeah, but here we go. I was born and raised in a small town in Arkansas, specifically Rogers/Bentonville. It's the home of Walmart. That's basically its only claim to fame. When I was born, it maybe had a population of 17,000, and whenever I left, it only had 63,000. So it's a pretty small town. I was born to John and Karen. They were already divorced by the time I was born. My oldest sister, Kara, is from my mom's first marriage. She had me and my other sister with my dad. Through some weird cosmic divine joke, somehow my dad got custody of me and my sister. Kara was lucky enough to stay with my mom. My dad's kind of a crazy person, so he really valued privacy. We lived out in the middle of nowhere on a huge hill, but we were all by ourselves. That meant no kids. No kids anywhere ever for us to play with. My dad wasn't big on the whole parenting thing, so he'd come up with different ways to keep us busy. The thing that me and my sister spent the most time on was definitely the Nintendo Entertainment System. We'd spend hours on that thing. Hours and hours and hours. We'd play it when the sun came up until the sun came down. We didn't have very many games for it, so we'd always argue about what we were going to play. I liked Legend of Zelda, whereas she liked the Mario Brothers. And since she was older, she typically won. When I was 6, my dad got a new job, so we reluctantly moved into the town. That meant kids. Actual kids that I could play with. I don't know what happened to the Nintendo. All I know is it didn't make it to the new house. So to make up for it, my dad got us a Sega Genesis. My sister was of the age where she didn't think playing video games was cool anymore, but I'd made friends with the neighbor kids, so it didn't really matter. And it was about this time that my mom got remarried to a man named Bill. And with the new marriage came a new sister named Shelley. And about 2 years later, my dad was remarried to a woman named Jan. And with that marriage, I got a stepbrother named Anthony. Me and my sister did not like this marriage at all. I never thought that my stepmom liked me. My sister just flat out left. For my 7th birthday, my mom got me a Super Nintendo. I'd always had more fun on the weekends with my mom. But after my dad got remarried, things changed, and I started enjoying my time there even more. So I've been talking about video games a lot, but let's go and talk about school. I fucking hated school. I was having some serious academic problems from the 2nd to the 5th grade. It was around the 5th grade that a lot of things changed for me, though. In the beginning of the school year, my mom got custody of me, so I went to go live with her, my 3 sisters, and my new stepdad, Bill. And 6 months later, my stepmom, Jan, filed for divorce from my dad. I never saw them again. Things didn't stay great forever, though. My middle school years were absolute hell. I started having questions about myself, wondering why I was different than all the other kids. And because they're mean little shits, they noticed, and they let me know. And video games stopped being a form of entertainment and more of an escape for me. And when I was 11, my dad moved. I haven't seen him since I was 11 years old. I didn't find out until recently that he'd actually moved to Galveston, Texas. I still haven't reached out to him, and I don't know if I ever will. Junior high was relatively uneventful. Nothing really happened. I wasn't as bullied as hard, but high school is where things really changed for me. Remember back in middle school whenever I didn't know why I was different? Well, in high school I kind of figured it out. It's because I'm gay. But living in a very conservative small town in Arkansas, that is not okay. So I hid who I was. I basically made an emotional mask for myself. I would wake up every morning and choose to be somebody completely different. But I guess it kind of worked out. Bizarro me made new friends, and high school started flying by. Knowing that I couldn't keep this up forever, I decided to get a part-time job while I was in high school to save up money so I could move away. I started working at a local video game company called Game Exchange. I'd worked there from 16 to 21 years old. I started part-time. Whenever I left, I was a store manager. When I was 18 years old, I was offered store manager of a store out in Grove, Oklahoma, so I moved out there for 8 months. I thought it was going to be great living anywhere other than where I was born. But it turns out the town was even smaller than the one that I was raised in. It was during these 8 months that I decided that I needed to come out and just be happy. I needed to be myself. So I moved back to Arkansas, and I finally came out to my family. And surprisingly, they were all okay with it. I kept working at Game Exchange until I was 21. One day, me, my mom, and my sister Julie were all having dinner. My sister let us know that she was going to be moving down to Austin, Texas. Without even asking, I proclaimed, "I'm going too." I made her take me with her. 21 was a huge age for me. Not only could I drink, I moved down to Austin, but also I set in motion a few things that would change the rest of my life. After living in Austin for a few months, I was really lonely again. I was out and open, but I was just by myself. So one night on MySpace, yes, MySpace, remember, this is back in 2007. That was the only social media platform that was even around back then, other than like Friendster. And who the fuck uses Friendster? I started looking around at people in my area, and I found Max, and I thought, this guy's super cute. So I summoned all my courage and I sent him a message. I met him at a party the next night. We hit it off immediately. We talked all night and ended up maybe even kissing a little bit. We had our first actual real date the next day. After about 6 months of dating, we moved in together. It was around this time that I decided I needed to further my education, so I went back to school. I got a degree in computer science and a bunch of certificates, and finally got my first job in IT. I've always liked working on computers and electronics, except now I was actually getting paid for it. The next year, whenever I turned 26, me and Max finally got married. We got married in December at Christopher Street Park in New York City. A few months later, my mom left my stepdad. She moved in with me and Max in Austin and stayed with us for a few months. Now she has her own place with her new boyfriend. I made a friend at work named Scott. Scott's the guy that I did the co-play of The Last of Us with. If you haven't seen that, you should go check it out. We started doing couch co-op stuff together. We played through all the Legend of Zelda games together, and it was great. Whenever he would play, I would just make fun of him nonstop. He had a ton of fun and thought that it was really funny, and one day told me, "You should record this for YouTube." I had never even considered that. I didn't even really know that Let's Plays were a thing back then. So I made a YouTube channel. And I called it The MrKravin, because Craven was taken. My first few playthroughs were a mess. I did a Just Cause 2 flying mod showcase and Skyrim graphic settings and a bunch of other really random things, as well as a playthrough of Sleeping Dogs. I started looking around at other YouTubers to see what they were doing and saw somebody named PewDiePie doing The Walking Dead. I'd been playing it on my own for fun and noticed that he was doing some choices that I hadn't made. I thought it'd be cool to compare his choices against mine, so I started the opposite of PewDiePie of The Walking Dead. My channel was at less than 500 subs before the series started. By the time it ended, it was at 15,000. I also did a series called The Adventures of Mute Lee, where again I played The Walking Dead, but this time only chose the triple dot answers. It was pretty successful. After I was done with the opposite of PewDiePie and Mute Lee, I decided to check out some other YouTubers, because I wanted to start doing collabs. That's how I met John, and Kat. Back then, I think Kat only had around 100 subscribers. I was at 15,000 and John was at 20,000. Me and John used to be really close sub count-wise. But it was around this time that I noticed that I'd mismanaged my channel. I had too many gimmick series, Adventures of Mute Lee, opposite of PewDiePie, and plus I did other stuff like benchmark videos and mod showcases, and it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. And so I made a new channel. I called it The Craven Nation. I thought it was going to be like this big bro army rival, but that quickly dropped off because I realized that's dumb as shit. So now it's just called MrKravin. Out of my 15,000 subscribers from the old channel, only 500 came over to the new one, so I basically was restarting. My growth was really slow at first. I was maybe getting 90 subscribers a month. It wasn't until Layers of Fear, Her Story, and Franbo all came out that I really got some traction. After I made the new channel, me and John decided to make another new channel called Dangerous to Go Alone. If you didn't know about DTGA, well, you should go check it out. Me and John play a lot of co-op games together, mostly Resident Evil related. And about a year after I made the new channel, I decided to quit my job. I just felt unappreciated. Scott had moved away and the company had just changed. I wasn't happy there anymore. I wasn't happy doing IT work for people that didn't appreciate me. I was happier making YouTube videos. And so that brings us to present day. I think that I've grown a lot over the last 4 years, not just as a YouTuber, but also just as a person. I don't wear my hat anymore and I dye my hair stupid colors, but we're at 50,212 subscribers as of making this video. So I've been reading from a script this entire time, but now this is me talking to you. This is me saying thank you. I've been making videos on YouTube for 4 years now, and I never thought that I would get this far. I never imagined that me talking to my microphone and acting like an asshole in front of a camera would actually reach people. It was just something I was doing and putting out there. So thank you guys so much for everything you've done for me. From subscribing, to liking, to sharing my videos, everything. It all really helps and all really means so much to me. So thank you again. Here's to 50,000 subscribers, and here's to 50,000 more. I love you guys so much. Thank you again for everything you do. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.